Hey guys, it's Chris here from Chris's Creative Life, and I'm super excited to say we are here. It's Chris here from Chris's Creative Life, and I'm super excited to. Sorry about that. That's so funny. So we are here today because, as promised, I said we would create the 3 layouts from the Love Notes scrapbooking workshop from Close to My Heart. So this workshop is so cute, and I've printed my photos and I'm ready to go. I decided to break it up into 4 videos. So there is a cutting video that was the first video. If you missed that, you can find it. Good morning, Gay. You can find it here. It's a little bit harder on Facebook to find it, but you can scroll back and find it. Or you can jump over to YouTube, and they're going to be all in like a playlist. So it'll go from one to the other. It's a pretty easy workshop to cut, and you end up with 3 double page spreads. And I thought it turned out super cute. So I have sectioned them all off just like you saw in the cutting video. So I have layout number 1 with layout number 1 and layout number 2 with layout number 2. And I will come back and do, like I said, all 3 of them over the course of time. But today we're going to start with layout number 1. And like I said, the product was so fun to play with. And I loved the results and how the layouts turned out in the end. So I'm going to add my desk in here, turn up some more lights, and we'll get started. If you guys have questions along the way, feel free to ask. I should be able to answer them, hopefully. So here we go. Like I said, I gathered all my supplies. I've cut my layouts, and I do actually exactly what it says in the directions, right? So for anybody that watched the cutting video, I always anything that I had to stamp and thin cut, I did still lay on this pile. I did do that step beforehand, and we're going to do some fun paper piecing with this teddy bear in like 2 seconds. So I have printed these photographs. Sorry. They are 4x6 photographs. I have just, I have a little white mat on mine, and then they sit on the photo mat. But it's just like a 1/4 inch mat, and that's because that's how all my other photos are. So I want them all to match. So if you have not printed off the workshop guide, it is available on the website under the promotions, which is then if you look for Love Notes, and then this is obviously the scrapbooking workshop. There is also a card making workshop, but I'm going to just start with the scrapbooking workshop. So like I said, I gathered my photos. I cut everything according to the cutting guide. And this is the one we're going to do today. Layout number 1. And I have picked the exact same photos. So we are going to use the same photos. So that I have my own samples that look exactly like those ones. Okay, so I set my photos aside. These are for my left-hand side, and these are the 2 for my right-hand side. Like I said, I have printed them with the white border just so that everything matches. If you don't want to print them with the white border, you don't have to. Okay, and then you can see here, I do have my 2 piles stacked left and right. So I'm going to just put this one underneath here. This is the toffee background for this one. So the first thing we're going to do, so like I said, we're just at the end of the cutting video. So now it says stamp and thin cut the shortbread teddy bears, fussy cut the ears, paws, and tummies from the dot paper and add them to the shortbread bears. So I did do one beforehand. Hello, Pauline. But you guys all know I love to paper piece, and the second I saw the teddy bear, I knew I wanted to play with paper piecing him. And I thought that, you know, like when kids have a teddy bear and they end up with like patches on them and all kinds of things, you could also have fun with this stamp set like that, right? Use a whole bunch of just like miscellaneous papers and paper piece her or him together. But we're gonna first create the one for the left hand side. So I have my bear stamped and thin cut. And then there's one that full bear on the dotted paper. And the pieces, I just thought you could also switch this out. So if you wanted different, like your patchwork bear to look different than this one, you could do the head with the peach dot and like the arms and the legs and the tummy. Like you could totally switch it out. Just the way I designed it, it's just the ears, the tummy, and the 4 paws. So we're gonna start with paper piecing, and I'm gonna literally cut the bear apart. It's easier to paper piece when you have less paper than less paper to have in your hand to cut apart, basically. So I'm going to just start over here, and also if you would prefer to have the dotted bear, the bear with the peach dot instead. So I'm just trimming right on my black lines, because when I add it down onto the shortbread bear, it kind of all just then fills itself in. So I'm just following the stamped line, and just I'm watching which paws go where. So I'm going to add just a couple of dots of glue, and oh, there it is. It blended right into the piece of paper. I almost couldn't find it there, guys. So now I'm just filling it in. It's like a little jigsaw puzzle, right? And you could also like color them. You could add shading if you wanted also with the paper piecing. So these little hand paws are a little bit small, so you want to go slow. So just let me zoom in here a little bit. So you just want to go slowly. So my scissors, and the better you know the scissors, your scissors, it's always easier to paper piece, right? So I'm just following the line, and I'm not like going crazy. And like I said, it's easier if you take more paper out of your way that you don't need, because this is a relatively small spot to cut. So I'm just, like I said, following the little stamped line. And on the back side, it's just like a fun newsprint. So you could also do that if you wanted. Like if you wanted your bear's patches to be on that paper, you could totally do that. That's the back side of the peach dot. You could also use different pieces of the leftover cardstock to make your bear more jazzy if you wanted. Okay. So really this prep step is probably like the longest step of the whole thing. That's why I assembled one beforehand. But like I said, I thought it just kind of made the bear have a little bit more personality. And when I'm fussy cutting, I'm being careful not to cut into his stomach, right? Because we're going to actually use that part too. But I'm just moving that out of my way. And I'm going to finish cutting the paw. And gluing it down. So I thought we'd do all the paws first, and then the ears, and then we'll do the tummy. The tummy's like the biggest piece, right? So same thing, I'm just following. And see where his little or her nails are? I'm just going to cut right through that, just like that, because when you lay it down, it actually ends up looking like her whole paw is there with her nails and everything. It's kind of a neat thing that happens when you paper piece things back together. So because you could see the paw on the shortbread, I probably should have done this like on something, not my directions, so you could actually see. I don't know that something with the grid pattern is going to actually be much better than that, but there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to just quickly do the 2 ears. And so same thing, right? I'm just going to follow around, and the little hairs are going to be on part of the shortbread, so I don't have to worry about cutting those out or cutting around them either. Lots of times when you paper piece and you have to cut around things, these little hairs end up being there because they're part of the shortbread layer, so you don't have to worry about cutting around them. Okay, and then I'm going to do the second ear. And then just go right on the inside of her head. And then this one. So then all we have left is her tummy. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. And so see, even though we cut off those little hairs, when you put them down, they look like they're still there. So like I said, I did do both the ears and the forepaws and the tummy. So and then we're going to put a little heart on her belly when we get to the end. So now all I have to do is trim out her tummy. So again, I'm just like following my stamping line. And okay, now she's all ready for our layout. So hey Kim, so like I said, you could totally very easily add some shading to the bear with a tri-blend marker, a little bit more detail with like a white gel pen if you wanted. You could add as much or as little character to the bear as you wanted to. Her little cheeks would look cute with a little bit of pink tri-blend. But like I said, I was just going to keep this exactly how it's designed. And I'll just kind of talk through some things that you could make as changes along the way. Okay, so I'm going to pick up all the pieces from my right-hand side. I'm going to zoom you out just a little bit back again. I'm going to move my left-hand page over to the side. And we will keep following the directions. I know the bear is so cute too. And like I said, I love, like at the end, we'll put the little puffy heart on her belly. And I think that just kind of brings her to life kind of at the end. So, and like I said, there are lots of things that you could do with it. And like even just paper piecing, you could use different papers. add more with your tri-blends, add a little bit of white gel painter. There's lots of things. Oh my goodness. Okay, so like I said, if you missed the cutting video, it's still listed there. So I'm just gonna move my pieces to the side because actually the first thing is we are going to, and sorry if my camera goes crazy. I'm just going to tack this toffee down. And then I'm going to add the white daisy on top, and then we're going to do some ink blending. As soon as I pick up a piece of paper off the floor. Okay, so maybe I'll actually put my two bases together at the same time, and then I'll do my ink blending. So the inks that I used in the workshop are black, obviously, I used to stamp the bears. We're going to add some peach to the background here, and there's a little bit of detail at the very end with peach, and I'm going to stamp the hearts, and then candy apple. So I have my candy apple too, but the first thing we're going to do is with the peach. But maybe I'll put together the two backgrounds first, and then we could do the ink blending all at the same time. And as we go, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I will be happy to answer them. This would also look, oh, look at that. See, I really do put Post-its with the numbers on them, guys. It's not just like tip. This, if you wanted to, the outer edge would look really cute with doodling around the edge too. Just saying. Okay, so I'm gonna just adhere this so I can move it back and forth out of my way. So like I said, we're on layout number 1. So I'm just centering it. There we go. So this is my right one, and here's my left one. So we're going to add some ink over here on the two outer corners. So I just, and I did it with peach. So I have peach and a blending brush. I love blending brushes. I think it was one of the best things that we have added to our inventory line, our product line, because I'm like addicted. So I have my peach ink, I have my blending brush. I'm just gonna pick up my ink, and I always just tap it back off in the lid. You can tap it on a paper towel or a spare piece of paper. You just don't want like a rough edge if you've got too much ink. And the only reason I tap it back down into my lid is so that I could then later use that ink, or I figure it actually goes back into the ink pad. So start light. Now peach is going to be light no matter what. So you can gradually build it up though. So, and this is going to be super hard for you guys to see on camera, but I'll try and build it up a little enough that maybe you could see it. Okay. So you could also add stenciling over top of this section. You could add splatter with like a shimmer brush, or even ink, right? So you could use the ink that you are leaving in the lid, pick it up with your water brush and splatter it. If you wanted more more decorative element in the background. It is a little bit hard to see, but you can start to see. I can't build it up too much, or then it'll be like crazy bright on me here. But you kind of get the idea. So I'm just rubbing it in a circle. So now I'm going to pull over my right page. And that's literally, I think, the end of the prep steps for this layout. You could also probably, like if you wanted, you could stamp a couple of really light hearts in the background. If you wanted to. We will at the end, there's a little detail where I stamp the little hearts just off to the side. So we'll do that. That's like the last step though. I'm not sure if you guys, I can see this one. But kind of, it's just there. It's just a little bit extra in the background. Just a fun little thing. Okay, so can't get my sides mixed up. Okay, so now I actually think we are ready to start assembling. So now we've added the peach ink in the background on both sides. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add our candy apple paper. And this is our piece here. And I'll just pull out my T-square so that we can get it where we want it. So one, right about here. And it goes flush with this inner edge. The two pages will connect together. If the lighter side matched your photos better, you could totally flip it over for the light side of candy apple. Oops, sorry, I just put my elbow on my keyboard. Okay, so then we're going to adhere the heart paper and same thing, it's going flush with the inside and it's 3 3/8 from the bottom. And when I do the other side, sorry, it just shifted on my Versamat, and if I'm going to use the ruler, and these don't have to be exact like the 3 3/8, but you just kind of want it close, right? So there we go. And I love the stripe on the back side of this paper. Okay, so we're going to add that right here. And if you want to do both sides at the same time, because they're the same steps in the beginning, you can totally do them at the same time. Okay, so now we're going to adhere our teddy bear paper. And how cute is that? If this works better for you, you could also flip them out. So also, anytime that there's like a piece that maybe you don't want to use, you could totally flip it out. Just you'll have to be careful when it comes to then when this piece goes down, you might want either, you could swap it out for cardstock, or if you are okay like that, or you could switch it out for a different piece of paper too, right? If you wanted the floral on all of them. Okay, so, oh my goodness. See, I got myself talking about the floral side. So I was just putting adhesive on the wrong side. We're just going to take it off. That's okay. Rub and remove to the rescue. And I should just put the pin back in my glue, or it'll be dry by the time. Okay. So now we'll put the adhesive on the proper side. That's what I get for trying to read the directions and add adhesive at the same time. There we go. This one. And now we're going to add the dot paper. I love that there's so many layers on this one. So this is, again, flush with the inner edge and 2 inches from the bottom. Now our floral. Okay, we're down to the end of that one. That didn't take long. It's okay. We've got lots of tape runner behind us. So again, this one is flush with the inner edge. And then we're going to do our little zip strip with the dots right here. So there we go. Okay, so before I stamp my little hearts over here, I'm going to do we're going to put together the right page. So, and I'm going to use this one to line up all of my pieces because it makes it so much easier, right? So a combination of the Versamat and my layout. So you guys, it's been a long time since I actually put this together the first time. Okay, and see, I almost, here is my peach ink. And my pieces are behind me. And here is my teddy bear. We're going to just set that up there. Okay, and because these pieces are flush with the inside edge and not flush with the white, I really want to make sure that my pieces are lined up, right? So that when they are side by side, the layout lines up. So there we go. And then, so after our candy apple, then we do our hearts. See, I had to actually move that one right out of the way. Okay, so then I'm lining up my hearts. Okay, and so for this page, we are now doing this one, right? So this is the stripe. And I'm just kind of making sure from one side to the other they're the same. Okay, so now we do our peach dot. This piece you could also totally flip if the lighter color would be better under your photograph than the peach. There we go. I just need to have a sip of my drink. Hey, Connie. Oh, she's watching in the midst of a blizzard. Isn't the weather like crazy everywhere right now? It is just crazy. I don't know if anybody looked at the posts on my business page about like, show me your snow photos. There are some crazy snow photos in there. If you haven't checked them out, go check them out. Okay, so then our floral print. And two, this is, even if maybe Love Notes isn't, you don't want to do this layout with Love Notes, this would look great with lots of other, you could swap out the papers, no problem. Just pick kind of a combination of papers or a different collection that suits your photographs. You could totally use this layout. Okay, so now I'm going to add my photographs. So this one I put at the bottom, and this one I put up here. And then on my other side, it's these two hooligans at the top, and this one at the bottom. Okay. And then we're going to do our stamping just in here. And there's two different little hearts on the stamp set, and you could use whichever one you want. I just like the little rounded heart the most. And I alternated the color from peach and the candy apple, but you could do all three of them the same if you wanted. Okay, and then here we go. I want the Versamats because we're going to, I'm going to flip them when I do the stamping. So I'll just move it over a little bit though. Try and get most of both of them on the screen. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just taking the photos and lining them up from side to side. But because this paper has the stripe in it, I wanted to set these photographs first, because if I was off on the stripe, you would really notice it. Versus if I'm off over here, you won't notice it as much, right? Because it's a pattern paper. But if you're crooked on a stripe, you're going to notice right away. So, and I can see in my photo, I have a little bit of that showing. And then I'm just lining it up with the one above. You could also pull out your T-square. Okay, so now we're going to do the stamping. So it is this little heart, the more rounded one I used, but there is a more pointed heart if you wanted to use that one. Oh, wrong side. And I was even smart. I was doing some other stuff today, and most of the time when I go to do something, my chamois is like dry, but I actually re-wet it right before this. Okay, so this is how I'm going to do this. I am going to stamp the candy apple on both sides, and then I'll do the peach and then the candy apple. But like I said, you could totally do them different colors if you wanted. So just kind of tucked right in there. Oh, my head was like right in the way. But it's hard because there's just a little spot. I wanted to make sure I was getting in the right spot. So I'll do one. And then the second one. That's so weird because normally my head doesn't get in the way. I'm not really sure what changed there. Okay, so I'm gonna clean it off, but it just needs to dry for a second before I put it in the peach. And then we'll go back and do the other candy apple. Okay, so I'm doing then the peach one on each side. And I just kind of want them all spaced out the same amount. So just tucked in there. There, you can see the peach ink in the background a little bit better in that picture, or that shot. Okay, so now I'm doing a peach one. I'll clean it off. Cover back up my peach ink because that's, I think, the last thing that we're going to do with it, because after this there's just the stickers left. So I'm just giving it a second to dry. There we go. There's the candy apple one. Cute, eh? So I thought it would be fun just to kind of play up the little hearts down here. That's why I did those 3 hearts there like that. There we go. Cute, eh? So we are done with the candy apple. Okay, so now we did our stamping of our hearts. So now we just need to add the embellishments. So there are stickers and puffy hearts. And the puffy hearts are so stinking cute. So I added a puffy heart on the bellies. And then we will add the stickers. So I loved that there's like a multitude of colors that match and then all different sizes. So let's see. Well, I guess we have to add the bears to the layout first. And I'm going to add my bears with 3D foam. So, and then there's just a few stickers. Actually, I'm not going to add my bears until I have my stickers pulled out. But I'll add the 3D foam to them. I do not need my Versamats under here anymore. There we go. I'm going to make a little more room with the mats under there. So then this bears for our right hand side. Just because there's a sticker that gets tucked in underneath here, so I'm going to add some of the stickers first. And then we will add the bears at the end. Okay, So this sticker sheet is kind of fun. So it is divided into like quadrants, right? So I still pulled the backing off, but I will do that after. You can cut it up into 4 if it makes it easier. But so this is the first sticker. I'm going to put that right here. It's the one, it's got like the dovetailed piece with the little hearts. Okay, and then this little bear sticker. Right here. And then I have a couple banner pieces. So these two are going over on that. So this one here, this piece, and then this berry sweet. So I am going to not touch them down until I kind of get my spacing right. So they're just going like this. Right, so I want just a little bit of an angle. There we go. And then there is this Be Mine sticker. So that's why I didn't put the bear down first. So I want to be able to see the bear, or see the Be Mine, the whole word, right? And so it kind of will sit right about there. So I'm just kind of finding the right spot for it. There we go. Okay, and then I can add my teddy bear. And then on, so I think that's all my stickers on this side. And then over here, we need the big XO. And I'm going to add this on 3D foam too. So I'm just going to take the stick off of this. And add it. And then I'll add these 2 pieces, and we'll add our other bear and then add the little hearts to the tummies. You could also add, there are extra puffy stickers left over when you're finished, so you could totally add more puffy stickers if you wanted. So, oh, that's upside down. We'll add that like that. There we go. On our teddy bear. And I just kind of want to make sure they're about the same. And then I need these 2 stickers. You could pop these up or leave them flat. I'm going to put mine flat. And so I'm going from like here, just like that. And this is why I did the peach in the background. It kind of just gives this little banner a nice little place to sit. So then the last thing, all we need to do is add the puffy stickers on their bears' tummies. And I think that's it. So I'm going to use this one. And these are the same. And these are both candy apple ones. But there's all the different coordinating colors on there. So there's like the shortbread white. These are scarlet, peach, candy apple. So you could switch them out if you wanted. So there you go. Layout number 1 is all done with photographs. You could add other things on here. Like I said, you could splatter into here, into these two sections. You could add some stenciling. You could add different embellishments, some sparkles. You know, I always say a little bit of glitter is a good thing. So you could use clear sparkles or the sparkle gems. They would all be fun on this layout too. So that's what I've got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me assemble layout number 1 of the Love Notes scrapbooking workshop. And you will see in the future layout number 2 and then a layout number 3. I have all the photos prepped and ready to go. So I'll be back later this month. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Just add them in the comments below and I'll come back and answer them. Bye, guys.